Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. Today is Friday. It is December 2nd, 2022. My name is Jeremy. This is my first cup. I want to say good morning to, wow, look at everybody. Frank, Brian, Gad, Stacy, Mark, and Jenny, and all the rest of you out there, whether you're watching now or maybe later. I want to thank you for coming by. Thanks for spending part of your morning with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. How are you? How was your Thursday? What did you do? Did you check out that episode of Martial Arts Radio that Andrew and I dropped about nutrition and hydration? Did you learn anything? Did it inspire you to potentially make some changes? Oh, or at least try some things that you don't need to be that loud right now. The fan off. There we go. Oh, good morning, Dennis. Um, yeah, so I'm proud of that episode. We put up a clip of it on TikTok, and it's doing well. TikTok is such an interesting platform because the way the algorithm works, it rewards you for doing more. So we're doing more and got pieces in place. You guys are going to see a lot more of us in all over the place. If you, for example, if you're on Facebook, you're probably seeing, there's a good chance you're seeing ads about our school consultant. If you're, let's see, any other changes you might see yet? TikTok? No, bunch of stuff going in place though. Things that I am excited about. 2023 is our year. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And the only reason it is our year is because so many people are helping. They are supporting the mission to connect, educate, and entertain. And I am just super pumped and inspired by that. Frank's excited for the jokes he sent over today. I am also excited for them. And Jenny's feeling better. Glad to hear it. We got oh, the team going back. The gang's all back together. Most of us, anyway. That's the up and the down of there being so many people who check out this show is that we never get everyone. We never have everyone together, but that's okay. We try. So what did I do yesterday? So yesterday I walked and I wore new shoes. Not that they needed to be broken in, but as most of you know, I wear shoes that are as flat as possible. Well, my new shoes came in and I loved everything about them except for the insoles. I took out the insoles. And I walked around my house a bunch and I thought these would be fine. And then I walked around, I wore them on the plane, walked around the airports. They were fine. And I put them on to walk downtown and grab some lunch. They were not fine. So I either need to deal with the insoles or find thinner insoles or something because there's just the way the sole is built. Yeah. So I have blisters. I have like 6 blisters on my feet from places they were rubbing. It's unfortunate. But you know what? It is what it is. Is what it is. Dennis says I call for a group yawn. That's probably going to do it. See? I do not understand the biological advantage of yawning when other people yawn. I don't get it. I don't know what it is about that. There's no other. Well, actually, I can kind of think of one other function that occurs when you witness it. Okay. But the two are so unrelated. Anyway, Jenny says yesterday's episode was well timed for me. I'm testing tomorrow. Good luck. I'm sure you'll crush it. Help me think about my food plan starting with today. We need to recognize that food is not simply something that is tasty, and it is not a binary state of we eat it and we stay alive, we don't eat it, we die. There are an infinite number of shades of gray, and I think it is far more effective to think of food as fuel. If you're just trying to drive an old, rusty, beat up truck, Doesn't matter so much what you eat. If you're trying to be performance based or keep that car as long as possible, now it starts to matter. Frank says, "You guys know who to call if you injure your foot?" A tow truck. Brian says, Tai Chi was awesome last night. Had a friend from town come try. She liked it too. That's great to hear. So glad. Dennis says, I am an old rusty beat up truck, but I'm comfy. No, you're not. I've seen the way you eat. Gad says, those shoes are like the partner when you first meet. Everything is hunky dory, but after a few weeks, you discover they never lift up the toilet seat and use your toothbrush all the time. Yeah, I'll be able to save them. They're over there. Here's why I bought them. When I came back from free training day, the two back-to-back, South and Northwest, I found myself craving a pair of very packable, flat, washable, ideally merino wool lace-up shoes. Actually, I was looking for slip-ons. But what I ended up with was all of those things, but they're designed that you tie them once and you don't have to untie them. They're designed to slip on. And they're great. What's the brand? Suaves, Suavs. And because I tried, Allbirds are too steep. What was the other pair I tried? There was another brand I tried that I liked the aesthetics of them, and they were going to kill me, or they were killing my knees. There was just too much sole there. But these, I like these, so we'll see. Maybe I might have to find a way to split the sole that they sent, or an aftermarket really thin one. I'll figure it out. But I do have I have them right here. I bring spares pretty much all the time. I brought my carry-on and a backpack, and that was it. I did not check a bag, despite being here for a week, which is new for me. This is one of my favorite pairs of shoes. New Balance Minimus in the most colorful pattern you can find, which is great because they match everything. There's nothing I can't wear these with. And they're bright, and I used to be a just black and gray person, but I actually found that I really like color. I like dressing with color. So there we go. And what am I wearing right now? This is my Shut Up and Train shirt, which is currently in the vault. We may pull it back out at some point. There are a few shirts that came out of the vault for Christmas. You should check them out. The Sunrise Tee, which is one of the most popular ones that's been in the vault for almost a year. So you can check that out. So today I start my conference. Leave here at a little after 9. Doors open at 10. We get going at 10:30. And I'm really thankful because there's a Facebook group for this conference, and I met. So I don't know if I've mentioned. So this conference, and I'll tell you guys a little bit more about it. It's a Tony Robbins event, and it is as immersive as you get. 12-hour days, 6 days, and the 12-hour days are on the low end. Past attendees have talked about this event going until we start at 10. Some have said it goes till, there have been nights where it goes to 1, 2, 3 in the morning. So this is an immersive experience. But as you might imagine, it's not inexpensive. And so I looked for ways to save money where I could, one of them being hotels. All the recommended hotels were very expensive, starting at like $300 a night. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. But I did find some hotels further away. So I'm about 4 miles away from the venue, and knew I wouldn't be the only one staying up here. Met 2 other people, so we're going to split a lift down to the space today. And one of them had a big beefy Jeep and went over to Walmart, and she was grabbing stuff. She's like, "What do you need?" I was like, "Water." So remember yesterday I was talking about water. I've got actual spring water now. Would much rather have my water from home, but that's okay. I'll take spring water over city water any day. Anything else to share? I don't think so. Nope. Bed's comfy. I'm sleeping well. And this is what I'm going to be doing this weekend. What about you guys? What are you doing today? What are you doing this weekend? Is there anything going on that you want to share? Anything that you want people to know about? Anything you want support on? Uh, Brian says Cassidy, his daughter, has oral surgery this morning. Oh, good luck. Yikes. Oof, hope it's not too severe. He took the day off. Nervous Papa Bear. Understandable. Well, I am sure she'll be okay. I have every confidence she'll be okay. I'm not gonna lie. The weather down here is kind of great. 70 at night, like 70 at night, 80 during the day. That's it. It's like a 10-degree range right now. Kind of perfect. Although I wouldn't mind if it was a little cooler at night, but it's not like I'm opening my windows anyway. Stacy's got work today, volunteering for a local homeless shelter's fundraiser this weekend and next. Oh, that's great. Jenny sending love to Brian. Dennis is going to his niece's Sweet 16, so I get to hang out with 3 of my boys this weekend. That's great. Love it. Enjoy. Stacy's selling raffle tickets to her little LED origami tree. Stacy, if you send it, do you have a photo of that you can Facebook Messenger me, and I'll share it so everybody can see it. That's something in case you guys ever need that, want that. If there's something that you want me to show everyone, if you send it to me in Facebook Messenger, that's the easiest way. And I'm Facebook friends with I think all of you. If you don't use Facebook, then you'd have to send it to me ahead of time, meaning that we'd have to prepare. The breakfast here isn't bad. I was able to concoct a reasonably decent breakfast. I'm nervous. I'm nervous for this event. I'm excited personally. I'm excited professionally to steal all the ideas I can for running an event, because that seems to be something Whistlekick is growing in specialization of, is doing events. So anything I can borrow to make free training day and whole weekend better, I'm going to do that. Oh, Gadgets will be taking care of Sky, who's at the vet's now to be neutered. I remember when I brought my rabbit in for that, he was so scared, and I was terrified, and they were so clinical about it. There was no empathy. I never brought him back to that vet. It was just, ugh. Let's see, when was that? 2003. Yeah, so 20 years later, and thinking about it still gets me. I get it. All right, let's do jokes. Thank you, as always, to Frank for making sure we have great stuff to talk about. And of course, the jokes. The jokes are, I think, everybody's favorite. And shout out thanks to Josh for our theme song. The jokes for Sunday, Friday. I wish that was my default view when I shared things. This is the view I prefer. December is bingo month. When is bingo harmless? When it's B9. I'm worried that my grandma is starting to lose her marbles. Yesterday, when I went to visit, she'd been marking herself all over with her bingo pen. She's completely dotty. TIL, the agricultural etymology of the word bingo. There was a farmer with a dog. I'm sorry, I don't get that one. To the agriculture etymology of the word bingo, there was a farmer who had a. Oh! Okay, it was the capitals threw me off. Till the agricultural etymology of the word bingo, there was a farmer who had a dog. Okay. Now that I'm reading right, it's funny. Why don't physicists and bingo players get along? They disagree on the application and existence of a free space. What's the fastest way to break up a bingo game in North Korea? P52, P52. Wow, Frank, that's not the kind of joke you would usually do. I love it. Holy cow. How can you tell that a bingo player just isn't into you when you call their numbers 5 times in a row and they still don't answer? I watched the US presidential debate last night, but I don't know if it was worth it. If I wanted to watch two old men fighting and screaming at each other, I would have just gone to bingo night at the local nursing home. Does anybody remember when Ross Perot ran and his running mate was Admiral Stockdale? I don't remember his first name. And during the vice presidential debate, he turned off his hearing aid, and he was in between Dan Quayle, right? Because that was 92. No, 92 would have been Al Gore. Yeah, because Bush was a one term, right? So it was Al Gore and Dan Quayle on each side. And he made a comment about being in the middle of a ping pong match. It kind of just murdered the humor in that. And our last one, it's before, not before. We're speaking English, not bingo. Good stuff. Thank you as always, Frank. P52. That's a good joke. I like that a lot. Drinking my tea with 2 half and halves. I wish there wasn't half. I wish it was just cream. But the only cream I'm gonna get down there is butter. And I don't want butter in my tea. Butter in my coffee I can do. But butter in my tea I don't think it's gonna work so well. I think those are great jokes. Bingo jokes. Who knew? Bingo jokes. Frank knew. That's why I sent them our way. Oh, pardon me. All right. And we do have something else from Frank. We have some quotes to talk about from Eckhart Tolle. Gad, how do you actually say his last name? I feel like, because isn't he Dutch? Maybe Gad can help us. No matter how long your journey appears to be, there is never more than this: one step, one breath, one moment. Now. If ever there was a quote that could relate to martial arts training, it would be this. Without a doubt. It's really good stuff. You can't take more than one breath at a time. You can't take more than one step at a time. Maybe you can take a big breath, maybe you can take a big step, but these are not steps, breaths, and moments as measurement. These are general concepts. We're not measuring out a step and then taking 2 steps. It's still one step. You're still taking a step. It's still now. And I think a lot of us get frustrated because now is not what we wanted it to be. You can't change that. The more energy you put into changing now, the more energy you put into being frustrated about now, leaves less energy to actually create change. This is my frustration with the culture on social media complaining about everything. Not only does it not make an impact, it wastes energy from actually creating change. How many people spend how many hours telling everyone else what they should do to create change? Now, what would happen if those people, that person that lectured everyone about what to do, actually created change themselves? What if they did one thing? You remember Farmville? I've brought this up before, but back in the day, the game Farmville, so many people were putting so much time into a virtual farm that if those same people gardened, it would have created such an abundance of food that it would have been insane. And I don't remember the numbers, which is why I'm not speculating on those numbers. But I remember hearing the number and the number of tons of food it would have generated, and it was so ridiculous. But it was a lot easier to just fake farm than to go out and get a little dirty, have some bugs, and still go to the store to buy your food. If you want change, if you want progress, you have to be committed to it. All right, Gad's helping us out. He's German, which I know as well. It is pronounced Tolle. Okay. Tolle, not Tula? Okay. That's right, there's no notes. Tolle. See, I should know that from taking a year of German in college, but if you saw my grades, you would know that I should not. Stacy says, but reading is real work versus clicking a button. Yeah. It's really easy to sit on our soapbox because nobody stands anymore. Not even standing on a soapbox. It's easy to sit on our soapbox and point fingers and tell everyone else how they're wrong and bad and ruining the planet. And yet, what's that saying? When you point at someone, 3 fingers are pointed back at you. Right? Actually, I think the saying is 4, but it's really not because your thumb doesn't point back at you. It's really just 3. Dennis says, goodness, when I make the mistake of reading the comments on some of my friends' Facebook posts, I can literally feel my IQ dropping. Don't they know I'm only there for puppy and kitten pictures? It comes back to a very, and this is the problem with all communities on social media, not just martial arts. It comes down to one very simple thing. This is my theory. People are so terrified of taking the wrong action, they will prefer inaction. And when they see someone taking action, they are jealous and will do anything they can to attempt to justify their position of inaction versus the observed action. It's the bucket of crabs analogy that I keep going back to. You don't have to put a top on a bucket of crabs because as soon as one of them gets an arm up, the others will pull it back down. It's not completely accurate in the real world, which if I posted that on social media, somebody would say, yeah, but if the crabs are too close to the top, well, sometimes they'll get out. Right? Gad says, I was playing Animal Crossing on the Switch, raking leaves. Then I looked outside and saw leaves in my real garden. Closed that game and never played it again. It doesn't mean that distractions aren't good. It doesn't mean that virtual activity is bad. Sometimes you want to be mindless. Sometimes you want to play within a set of rules that work predictably. And my theory on why video games are growing and growing and growing is because the world does not work by a set of rules that people understand. And my theory on why young men embrace video games so readily at rates that still, not that girls and women can't play games, but the reason young men play games more is because young men tend to feel like they have less control over their life than young women. Women dictate social structure in school. It's a fact. Well, I shouldn't say it's a fact. That is my observation. Brian says, so played in the evening when raking outside is too dark. I'm an avid gamer. With balance and moderation, it has many benefits, and I completely agree. One of the things that I have done to best decompress quickly, I bought a Switch at the insistence of a couple of friends because I kept almost doing it. They're like, no, you need to do this. You need to do something for yourself. And I'll sit down, and lately it's been Mario Kart. And I can play 4 races in 15 minutes. I can play a full circuit in 15, certainly less than 20 minutes. And it's a nice distraction. It breaks me out of where I am. Is it productive? in the sense that decompressing and disconnecting from work for a moment is productive, yes. And in fact, there are plenty of studies that show short breaks, including for games, increase productivity. Gad says, I still play games avidly. They keep your mind young, but raking leaves just couldn't justify that to my wife. Brian says, I've been playing Power Wash Simulator, literally cleaning things with a pressure washer. It calms and relaxes me. I fall asleep playing it easily. Love it. And see, there's a purpose, right? To me, yes, maybe you could call it a game, but I don't think of that as a game. I think of that as a relaxation tool. All right, next. Where are we? Over here. When you live in complete acceptance of what is, that is the end of all drama in your life. Ooh. It's a rather Buddhist principle, right? It's something I'm getting better at, and I continue to get better at it because it's important to me. I don't like complaining. I don't like hearing people complain. And in fact, there are plenty of people in my life that I have worked to distance myself from who complain all the time. There are many, many people on social media, specifically on Facebook. All they do is complain. The only things I see from them on being posted are negative, so I hide them. I don't want to see that. I don't need to see that. There's enough negativity in the world. I don't need yours. Now, there are plenty of ways you can be constructive about it. I saw someone post something, was it yesterday? Um, you could say they were complaining, but it was more frustration at airline fares. Does anybody have tips on how to get better airline fares? Yeah, you better believe I. Here, Google Flights. And by the way, any of you, if you're planning trips and you are not locked in, I have to leave this day, I have to arrive this day, right? If you might have a day or two of leeway, Google Flights. In fact, there are times I fly a day early because even with a hotel room, I save money. And Google Flights is the best tool I know for monitoring that. Jenny says, as someone with anxiety, racing thoughts are an issue for me. Sometimes a few minutes of playing a water sort puzzle helps me regain control of my thoughts. Oh, do you mean like the little button things that we had when we were kids? Oh, that's awesome. Gad's suggesting, because I have a Switch, give Breath of the Wild a try. You can get lost in that world and many puzzles to challenge you. That's the Zelda one, right? Zelda's never really called to me. I had, what was the first one on the Wii? Ocarina of Time? And bought it used and got 3/4 of the way through, and there was a scratch on the disc. And I found it like just outside the return period, and I couldn't play it. It was done. Very annoying. But the games I play are either like The Last of Us, fully immersive, usually with a great story, or they're quick and dirty. You know, Shredder's Revenge on the Switch, for example. Brian says, Cassidy plays our Switch the most. We did enjoy Mario Party 8 as a family for quite some time. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Oh, the water sort puzzle is a game on her phone, but like those. That's cool. Nice. And our last line, our last quote for today. Stop looking outside for scraps of pleasure or fulfillment or validation, security, or love. You have a treasure within that is infinitely greater than anything the world can offer. But that also requires not giving everything away. I think for a lot of us, and I'm in recovery of this, giving all of yourself is unsustainable unless you are in a situation where others are giving back. You can only give so much as you can afford to give. And there are different kinds of giving. There are different reasons for giving. True giving is genuine and requires nothing in return. Here's the example of presents, physical gifts. I've talked about this before. If I give you a gift and I'm expecting something in return, a favor, even a thank you, it's not a gift. It is obligating you to an exchange. That is unfair. If I give a gift, a true gift, the only kind of gift that does not put me at risk is one where I have zero attachment to the outcome of giving that gift. Now, that doesn't mean I can't make observations about what happens when I give that gift. If I give you a gift and you appreciate it, and then I give you another gift and you appreciate it, and I give you another gift and you appreciate it, but I don't feel a sense of appreciation from you, if it starts to fall out of balance, then it can become a problem. And the way you correct that is you give gifts when there is such a strong relationship, romantic, platonic, professional, that it's not going to even change the balance. Right? That there's something so bound there that it's okay. I didn't understand this for a very long time. And this is why you are unlikely to see me send any of you a gift. You're not going to open your mail one day and see that I've sent you some big gift, because I don't have that kind of relationship with any of you. I think the world of many of you. But gifts are something that I think we have allowed to commercialize so heavily that it causes a lot of problems. The greatest gift you can spend with someone is your time, and that's why I'm so appreciative of all of you. You spend time here with me. I spend time here with you. We all value that. We value that, and the proof is the fact that we're here. If we didn't value it, we wouldn't be here. Gad, I am acknowledging what you say there. Interesting. I may check it out. Good morning, Nathan. And so there we are. Thank you to Frank. Those were great. Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle. There we go. Okay. Trying. I think I even have an Eckhart Tolle book on my bookcase. The Power of Now. I think that's that one. So I'm going to go grab some food, which is basically going to be all the different forms of fat down there: butter, peanut butter, cheese, and have as low carbohydrate as I can. Do you get them down? All right. I hope you have a fantastic day and an absolutely wonderful weekend. I hope you will remember some of these comments. Hello, Cato. Nice to see you. Remain present. Remain in the moment. Remain now. Enjoy whatever the world brings to you. And if it's not something you wanted, find the lesson. Find the gift. It's easy when we think about it in the context of martial arts. Oh, I just got punched in the face. I didn't enjoy that. What did I learn from getting punched in the face? Something. I could have done something differently. Take it one step at a time. That's all you can do. All right. If you want to support us and our work to connect, educate, and entertain, you've got the Patreon. It starts at $2 a month. Just $2. You can also use code FIRSTCUP15 to save money on buying stuff at whistlekick.com. Was looking at the dates, recommended dates. If you purchase something, let's see. If you purchase by December 11th, you should have stuff in time for Christmas delivery. I would pull it back a day or two from that, especially if you're in an area where the post office is understaffed. but you've got that as an option. And of course, you've got the family page, whistlekick.com/family. We do the show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can follow us. We are at Whistlekick everywhere, and there are plenty of places beyond that. Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram. And coming soon, we're likely going to roll this out to other platforms too. So I appreciate you all being here. It's a great way for me to start my day, and I hope that you have a good one. Gad's proposing we stop calling it the weekend and call it Fun Start. I would, but there are plenty of people who work on the weekends, and I would feel really sad for them. I'll let you guys figure all that out. Take care, everyone. Be well. Peace.